All right, guys, welcome to Chin Fat. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do some moving things around on the timeline with your track select forward key and your track select backwards key. Give you some quick little tips on how to use that. So first of all, you can go over to your toolbar, and under your toolbar, you have this little track select forward. And if you notice this little triangle in the bottom right-hand corner right there, that means that this is an expandable menu. If you click on it and hold your left click down, it's going to expand it, and you will have your track select backwards tool. So I'm going to do the track select forward tool right away. And if you want the shortcut for that, if you're on your arrow tool, you just hit the letter A on your keyboard, and it brings up your track select forward tool. Notice that now it's got these two arrows that are pointing to the right. So let's say you want to choose a whole bunch of clips from one point forward and move them around or something. What you can do is you move your mouse wherever. I'm going to zoom up on this. Let's get my playhead right here. I'm going to zoom up on this by hitting plus, plus, plus on top of my keyboard to zoom up. And if I move this right here, and you got the little tips of the arrows touching this clip, it's going to select this clip and all the clips forward, everything on the timeline from this point forward. So you click, and it selects everything. And notice if I move this back just a little bit here, and you have to have that top arrow, the little teeny tip of that arrow right on the clip. So if I go right here, now notice what happens. It clicks this one as well, and all the tracks forward as well. If you want to do a quick move of these things, if you want to push them down the timeline and make a gap or something like that, you can do this. You can click on you move it on the actual clip that you want to move, and you click and you just simply drag, and it has selected everything, and it starts moving. And if I let go, it has it has created a gap right here. So I'm going to undo that by hitting Command Z or Control Z. And now let's say I want to select all of these tracks backwards. We can do the shortcut. I'm going to hover over this and show you the shortcut is Shift A. So let me go back to my arrow tool here. So if you hit A, it's all tracks forward. If you do Shift A, it reverses it. Shift is a modifier key. Oftentimes it makes it the opposite. So it does a reverse, and then I let go of Shift, and it has these double arrows again. And now I can click, or you can even click above it. You don't have to click on the track like that, and it selects all the tracks. So if I want to move this stuff and I want to move it over here, first of all, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see where I'm moving this here. I'm going to go click, and I'm just going to hold my mouse down on it and select everything, but I'm holding my mouse down, then that will grab it, and now you can shift it. And I zoomed out a little bit. I hit minus on the top of my keyboard a couple times to zoom out. Another way of doing this is kind of easy. Is if you just using the processor command, the cut, copy, and paste, which is Command X, C, and V, and on a PC that's Control X, C, and V. So if I click here and grab all this stuff, and I just do Command X or Control X will cut. Command C or Control C will copy. Command V or Control V will paste that. So if I do Command X, it will cut that. Now it's holding it on the pasteboard waiting to paste it somewhere. I can move to the end of my timeline here, right there, and I can do Command V or Control V, and it will paste that. And that's one way of moving things without having to visually drag it, and you can get it exactly where you want to. Now let's say you want to grab, because notice this, when I click here, it's going to grab everything back. Let's say I just want to grab just everything on this video track backwards right there. What you can do is you can do your track select backwards here by hitting Shift A, and I've got that selected. Now, while this tool is activated, and this is the same for track forward as well, track forward select, if you just hit the Shift key, it takes away one of those arrows, and now you just got a single arrow. Now I can move it down onto this track. I do a left mouse click, and boom, it selects that whole track and anything attached to it. It's connected with everything attached to that there. So if I want to select just the tracks on the top, I hold down Shift and click, and then it selects just those. And if these are connected to any audio tracks down here, it'll select those ones as well because they are connected already. Because they are linked. When I brought this audio and video in, it was already linked. So it will select anything that is linked to it as well. If you didn't want to select anything that's linked, you can do this. We're getting a bit shortcut heavy here, but now I can do Shift A to do all tracks backward, Shift to do the single track, and then Option. So right now I'm holding down Shift and Option, and it selects. The Option makes it so it just selects just a single track. If I wanted to do the audio, same thing. Shift and then Option, and now it selects everything on that track right there. So a bunch of shortcuts, but that's the way it works. And it works exactly the same for all tracks forward. If I just hit the letter A, that's all my tracks forward. Shift does a single track, and notice it selects the audio tracks that are connected to these video tracks. If I don't want to do that, hold down Shift, Option, or Alt on a PC, and now click, and it just selects that single track and nothing that's connected to it. Now I can move this wherever I want to. Right now that's selected, I can hit V for my arrow tool, and I can just go click and drag this. I can do the cut, copy, or paste as I showed you before. Now I can do Command X if I want to, that cuts it. I'm going to undo that. Or you can just do Command C, which will copy it. Now if I move it over here, notice it hasn't been cut, but I hit Command V and it pastes it. And now I have a copy of it. So if you're trying to move it, Command X. If you just want to copy it and use it again later, Command C to copy, then Command V to paste. Well, that's how that works. If you have any questions, please let me know, and thanks for watching.